In today's tutorial, we are going to talk about differentiation. Alright, so let us start with the definition of differentiation. When we are talking about differentiation in mathematics, differentiation is a process of finding the derivative of a function. I repeat myself. If you have your note, you can take it down right now. Okay, differentiation is a process of finding the derivative of a function. Now, the notation is dy dx. Alright. Now, do you know that differentiation can also be called derivative? Derivative, right? Differentiation can also be called derivative. If you don't call it differentiation, call it derivative. Alright. I repeat myself that differentiation is a process of finding the derivative of a function, and it is denoted by the y dx. Alright, so let us continue. Now we have 6 ways of solving differentiation. Alright, we have 6 ways, and it is called methods of differentiation. Okay, this is a short form of differentiation. We have methods of differentiation. We have number one, general method, okay, and we have number 2, we have phase principle. I will take you one by one after the other. Phase principle. And we have number 3, we have chain rule. We have chain rule. We also have number 4, product rule. We have product rule. Okay. We also have number 5, quotient rule. Quotient rule. We also have the last but not the least, number 6, we have implicit differentiation. That is the last one. Implicit differentiation. Now we have 6 methods of solving differentiation. I told you earlier that differentiation can be represented by dy dx. Okay, and I define differentiation is the process of finding the derivative of a given function. Okay, now a function can be like this. They may ask you to y is equal to x squared, and you are asked to find the y dx. Okay, so this is a function, and y this is the derivative. Okay, all right, so let us take the general method. All right, so we are going to take the general method in this differentiation. Okay, so in our next class, I'm going to talk about phase principle, followed by chain rule and others method of differentiation. But first, let me take on the general method. Okay, so we have the general method differentiation, and take number 1 down, general method. I will show you the general method of differentiation. Now we call this general method, and the formula is if y is equal to f of x. This f of x is a function. F of x is a function. Okay, this will be equal to x to the power of n. All right, so if you are given something like this, y is equal to x to the power of n, to find the y dx, okay, the y dx will be equal to n multiplied with x power n minus 1, which is equal to n x to the power of n minus 1. This is the formula for general method if you want to solve differentiation. I will give you one example to solve on this, and we are going to solve it together. If you are given y equal to, this is just the general formula how to derive the general method of differentiation. Okay, now we have dy dx is equal to nx power n minus 1. Now the whole of this is equal to nx to the power of n minus 1. This is equal to this. Now this is just the formula for it. Okay, let's go. Let's take on example 1. We have example 1. Sorry, the ink is just affecting. Now, if you are given this example 1, you are given that y is equal to x cubed. Y is equal to x cubed. Now, what do you observe in that equation? Remember, I said that the formula for this is y is equal to x power n. And this is the equation given. Y equal to x power 3. That is x cubed. If you don't call it power 3, call it x cubed. Okay? Now, the equation says find the y, the x. In every equation on differentiation, they must give you what to find. So find the y dx is the y dx we are looking for. So they will give you an equation like this: y equal to x power 3. Remember that I told you earlier that y is equal to this. So I can say that this x power n is the same thing as x power 3. Okay, so this is y and this is y. Sometimes I may replace y with f of x. It's still the same. All right, so y is this, y this is this. So to solve this kind of problem, you need to apply this what we call general method of differentiation. So in this case, we are going to apply this. Since they asked us to find the y dx, okay, so we are going to apply this method depending on the equation given, because it is called general method differentiation. Okay, now since they asked us to find the y dx, we are going to replace y with dy dx because they asked us to find this. So you don't have to put y again, you put dy dx. Okay, now remember that this 3 will come down here and multiply with 3 with x. You are going to have this is equal to this 3 will come down here and you are going to have 3x to the power of 3 minus 1. If you check this, this is the same thing as this or this. Okay, so you bring down 3 and multiply with 3x, you subtract the power by 1. That is just the formula as the formula is shown here. So dy dx is equal to 3 minus 1 is 2. So dy dx is 3x squared. That is the final answer. Dy dx is 3x squared. Okay, and you are finding dy dx. And I have here example 2 before I give you your assignment. I have here, if you are given y is equal to x squared plus 2x to the power of 3, and you're asked to find dy dx. You have to find dy dx here. Now we are going to apply the same principle. All right, we are going to apply the same principle. Now we are going to have, you change this to dy dx because you are asked to find dy dx. Remember I told you earlier that If you don't call it differentiation, you call it derivative. So if you hear me saying derivative is the same thing as differentiation. So this will be equal to, so let's apply the same method. These two multiply by this x, you are going to have 2x to the power of 2. So you subtract the power by 1, minus 1, and you put down the plus again, plus. Okay, this 3 will multiply by 2. You are going to have 6. So you are going to have 6x power of 3. You subtract the power by 1, minus 1. Okay, so the y, the x is equal to 2 minus 1 is 1. So you have 2x. Even though you write 1, it's still the same. But you don't write 1. You don't raise any power to 1, because we know that this is to the power of 1. Plus 3 minus 1 is 2. So you're going to have 6x square. That is the final answer. That is how to differentiate a function. And in my next video, I'm going to show you how to solve on first principle method. Okay, so this is just the general method of differentiation. I'm showing you the general method in case you want to go for quiz competition. So this method is applicable on quiz competition. All right, so in my next video, I'm going to talk about first principle. All right, so let me give you something to do. Do this and send to me. So if you have, let me say this is assignment. Now we have number 1, that y is equal to 6x squared plus 3x to the power of 4. Okay, and we have number 2, y is equal to 12x plus 6x squared. Now in this assignment, you are asked to find the y, the x. So you have to find the y, the x in this video, or in this assignment. Okay, so we have y is equal to this 6x squared plus 3x power 4, and number 2, y is equal to 12x plus 6x squared. Find the y, the x. All right, thank you for watching this video. So in my next video, I'm going to teach you first principle. So I am through with the general method. So I am doing evaluation in this topic. So I told you earlier that differentiation is the process of finding the derivative of a given function. That differentiation is denoted by the sign dy dx. Anywhere you see dy dx, that it is differentiation. All right, so another definition for differentiation is that differentiation is the opposite of integration. I repeat myself, differentiation is the opposite of integration. If you don't call it differentiation, you call it derivative. So in my next video, I'm going to teach you first principle method of differentiation. Thank you. Meet you next time in my class.